Diego, summers mean a lot of sunshine, and unfortunately, bad sunburns are worse if you're not careful. It can be difficult to choose the right protection. Here to debunk some of the myths and to give us expert advice, welcome Dr. Melanie Palm. Good morning.
Good morning, Brooke.
All right, I think one of the biggest questions people have is what number protection they need. Is 30 enough, or do you need 50? If you put on 50, is that overkill and it's really only working up to 30? What's your advice?
Probably one of the most frequent questions I get when I'm seeing patients in clinic. They'll say, oh, Dr. Palm, I'm doing awesome. I'm wearing 100. And in actuality, so the SPF number, that number just covers UVB, which is the burning spectrum of the UV spectrum. So really, the number just needs to be about 30 or more. If you've got an SPF of 30, you're getting coverage of about 93% of the UVB rays. If you go up to 100, it's like 95. So really, you want to see 30 or more, but if you're doing 50, 70, 100, you're really not protecting yourself that much more than a 30 SPF.
Okay, good to know. And how much do we apply?
So that's a good question, and I brought a visual. We brought a shot glass for a Sunday morning.
I wondered. She showed up with some sunscreen and a shot glass.
And so, yeah, we're not doing Sunday morning brunch here, but I tell patients you need, if you're doing a full body application, about an ounce of sunscreen for full body application. So most sunscreens are only about 4 ounces if you buy them over the counter or with a doctor's office. So really, they should only get you through 4 applications. So if you're applying multiple times throughout the day, if you've got a big beach day, you should be going through almost a container of sunscreen during that time.
I never would have imagined that. I mean, you have sometimes sunscreens in the closet that last you months and months, maybe even a year. I didn't know you should be applying that much. You also mentioned to me earlier this morning, you need to rub it in even if it's a spray? Yeah,
so I brought a spray. There's lots of great sprays out there. This ends up being sort of a mineral-based one, a zinc-based one. But once you spray, it can be a little uneven, so you want to make sure that you actually rub in the sunscreen once you've applied it on the screen so you don't get any either skip spots or get areas of over-application.
You were just mentioning the minerals. Tell us what the difference is between some good sunscreens and bad sunscreens.
Yeah, so there's 2 basic kinds. There's mineral-based sunscreens, which are the ones you can pronounce, things like zinc and titanium, and they physically block sun. They reflect sun back into the environment, the UV rays. The chemical ones, which are the big, long ones that are really hard to pronounce, they sound like chemicals, actually convert light into heat energy on the surface of the skin. And what we know from emerging research is heat, infrared and visible light play a role in skin aging. So a lot of the newer sunscreens, like the 2 that I have with us, they actually have things like antioxidants in there to squelch some of that bad reaction, in addition to protecting from the UV spectrum of the sun.
So if we're looking for antioxidants in the sunscreen, we're reading the label, what is that? Are we looking for green tea, vitamin C?
You got it. Those 2, which are sometimes ascorbic acid, is vitamin C. Look for vitamin E, which is tocopherol is the technical name, and things like green tea or resveratrol, which is an extract from the skin of a red grape.
Okay, so again, if it has that long chemical name at the beginning as the first ingredient, that's probably not what we're looking for.
You know, they're effective, but they cause heat production. So sometimes a combination of the 2 is good, but I really like, and most derms really like you to be using a physical sunscreen block.
Okay, another important question, but we're flat out of time, so we're going to cover this tonight at 10 p.m. when we have you back on our broadcast. Then we'll talk a little bit about the difference between children and adults, how much SPF for them, how much product to use, and all that with regard to kids.
There are some important recommendations, so that's great.
All right, thank you so much for being with us this morning. All right, still to come.